and since I'm remote tonight, we will do everything by roll call. So let's first do a roll call to order. Carla.
Here.
Tom.
Here.
Aaron.
Here.
Laura.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
And Sean here. I'm sure that order probably made no sense in the room, that's how you show up on my screen, so sorry. All right, so quick run through of the agenda for tonight. We'll start with public comment for anything that is not on the agenda. We'll have a focus on excellence this evening for 2 students who've been awarded the Certificate of Academic Excellence. We will review our consent agenda and vote on the consent agenda as well. We will have reports, and then we'll move into new business. In the new business section, we're going to get an overview of the new RMHS Fitness Center and training rooms, scope of that project, including some amazing visuals. We'll have a discussion and likely a vote on a rise tuition adjustment for next school year. We'll have our first review and discussion of the 2026-2027 school year calendar, and then we've got a couple of policy updates. So first will be IKF graduation requirements, and then we'll move into old business where we'll look at IKFE, competency determination, which is sort of a subsidiary policy to IKF. So that will be our evening. And with that, we can start with public comments. If there's anybody in the crowd that wants to talk about anything that's not on the agenda this evening, you can approach the podium. You've got 3 minutes. Just give your name and address, and let you have at it.
See a bunch of smiling faces, but no hands in the air, Sean.
All right. Being told we're seeing none, so we can move on. So let's move to our focus on excellence. And Dr. Milsetsky, I think I'll see you up on this one.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to see some smiling faces out here. We are thrilled tonight to be able to recognize and celebrate 2 absolutely incredible students who demonstrate the highest level of academic achievement in our school. A little bit of context: this is an award that's given to all districts across the state. Schools and districts are asked to select students who best embody academic excellence. And tonight we have 2 of the absolute best here at RMHS to not only present them with the award, but also to share a little bit about sort of why the team at RMHS nominated them for the award. So I have here a pretty detailed advocacy letter from each of their counselors. So I'm going to start just one at a time, share a little bit about one of our recipients, Owen Sinclair. And yes, everything I share here is about Owen, and this is incredible. This is one student. It's absolutely incredible. So a couple things that the counseling team wanted me to share. Owen, member of the varsity cross country team. He won the Most Dedicated Athlete Award 2023, part of the D1 State Championship team and D1C State Championship team in 2024. Was the captain for the 2025 season. Class president sophomore and junior year, member of varsity indoor and outdoor track. He's in the Orbit Journalism Club, the founder of the Climate Change Club, member of Habitat for Humanity, and traveled to North Carolina with the group. Part of the iCivics paid fellowship, so he is selected to serve as a youth representative for Mass to make civic education more equitable, which is a 7% national acceptance rate. Has a 4.5 GPA, 1350 PSAT, 6 AP classes, 9 honors classes, and a 5 on his AP Chem exam. Some awards: he won the Scholastic Writing Silver Key Award in poetry. He, in Letters About Literature, was a level 3 finalist, and in the Underclassmen Award for Writing and Poetry. And just a little bit maybe that isn't reflected in some of those accolades. This was written by his counselor. Owen has always been thoughtful about the courses he takes and has consistently taken the highest level offered. Never has he shied away from a challenging class. Instead, he's actively taken on our most intensive ones. As a freshman, he entered our most advanced math track. As a sophomore, he was one of a small handful of students in his grade in AP Chemistry. As a junior, he doubled up on science while still taking APs in both English and history. While choosing his classes for his senior year, Owen and I had multiple meetings regarding how to best set himself up to prepare for his collegiate studies. I've rarely, if ever, recommended a senior schedule this ambitious. For Owen, it makes sense that he'll have exhausted our math and science curriculum. He would rather choose the more intensive courses if that means he's taking more classes he's interested in. Each year I've wondered, will it be too much for Owen to handle? Each year he proves I have nothing to worry about. He has the aptitude to handle a high level of learning in all of his subjects. He has a true love of learning, and during his summers, he's independently sought out opportunities to further his knowledge of the world. Owen's transcript would still be impressive if that was all he focused on, but what makes him all the more impressive is that he doesn't just identify himself as a student. He's a runner, a leader, and someone dedicated to giving back to the community. Owen has never missed a practice in his high school career for cross country or track. He proudly helped his cross country team go to states last year, and unsurprisingly, is the captain of both cross country and winter track this year. He's used his love for running to help him in his job at Marathon Sports, a running shoe store. His involvement somehow doesn't end there. He's actively worked to make the communities around him a better place. 9th through 11th grade, he's been voted by his peers to be class president. His peer knows that he's one to work hard and trust, and that he'll uphold the role model role as respectably as anyone could. Owen is a role model you want to have the class looking up to. He's been an active member of Habitat for Humanity, spending a week over the summer volunteering in North Carolina. Owen has been well-rounded in his pursuits, not just for the resume, but because he lets his passions and interests lead the way. Wow, truly incredible. Congratulations to Owen. So we'll talk through our second recipient, and then we'll come up for pictures and recognition. So our second recipient with us tonight, too, is Clara Healy. Again, this is also all the accolades for one student. Incredibly impressive. At RMHS, the Climate Change Club, the president and co-founder. She's the treasurer of the Student Council, president of the science team, president of Cards for Kindness, club member of the Politics Club, events coordinator for the Cooking Club, club member for the Math team, club member for Bridging Generations, and the Student Advisory Committee of the School Board club member. Athletically, she's on the girls' varsity soccer team. She was the varsity captain and earned the Varsity Sportsmanship Award, and she's also the varsity captain of spring track. Her volunteer engagements include the Killam Elementary Math Team, Olympiad leader, and top soccer buddy. She also works locally at Mathnasium, and she was described in the following way by her supervisor. She's someone who has an innate curiosity that allows her to connect with younger students in a meaningful way. She does so with joy and patience. Parents of her students have even written notes expressing how much Clara has impacted their children's confidence and love of learning. One family shared that they feel extremely fortunate to have Clara in their lives. A couple other things, she's a member of the Reading Recreational Basketball Program as a referee and coach. She's a private math tutor and also a babysitter for many local families. Again, several awards have come her way as well. AP Scholar with Distinction, Dartmouth College Book Award, National Honor Society and High Honor Roll. And here's a little bit of an excerpt from her counselor. Clara has an impressive 4.63 GPA and has enrolled in 11 AP classes as well as 2 dual enrollment classes during her time at RMHS. Clara has a specific passion for the environment, sustainability, and preservation. She is incredibly focused on making the world a better, more sustainable place and has already demonstrated this commitment through her academics and extensive involvement in the field. She participated in the Bell Program at Brown University, which is focused on food science and sustainable agriculture. And she's an ambassador for the Mystic River Watershed Association, where she helps spread community awareness about flooding and environmental challenges in the Mystic River area. She attended a youth summit on the environment this past summer and even founded and leads the Climate Club at our high school. Her motivation to stop climate change, develop sustainable solutions, and make a meaningful difference is inspiring. I have no doubt that she will play a vital role in addressing and finding solutions to some of our most challenging challenges that are the biggest challenges our society faces. Wow, truly incredible. As we read that, I just think we should all be incredibly proud of the work of both Owen and Claire. I hope you feel incredibly proud of what you've accomplished. I'm sure your families do. You undoubtedly represent the absolute best of what we have here at the high school, and thank you for being leaders, role models, academically, athletically, and in our community.
Can we clap for Clara?
Please do. So I don't know if there's any comments or questions from the committee before we move forward with our photo.
I will say that for me, this is like the best part of what we do here is when we can see students and hear of all the accomplishments that you have, because it makes us proud. We're parents too, but it makes us proud as school committee members to see you guys flourish and to see what you're doing with your time and what you're giving back to your community. So we're proud of you.
Preach. Yeah.
Great. So one of our traditions is that we just ask you to come up. We have a certificate for each of you, and then we do take your picture, which is usually published in the newspaper. So come on up and for the picture and for your certificates. Thank you, congratulations.
All right, so let's move to the consent agenda. Let's start with a motion. Carla, you got one for us?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Is there a second?
Tom?
All right. Dr. Malczewski, there's one item on here we wanted to say a couple words about before we go to the vote.
Absolutely. There's something exciting, a bunch of exciting things in the consent agenda. One we'd like to flag for you tonight is a student-led work. So Alex Gizetto, who saw an opportunity to make a difference in our community and then move forward with the initiative to make an impact on both the day-to-day experience and mostly the academic experience for our students. Alex was going to come tonight to speak a little bit about his work and why he decided to move forward and support our school in the way he did. Unfortunately, he is ill, so his mother has offered to step in his place. So we invite you to come on up and speak on Alex's behalf about his work.
Okay, is this on? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, Dr. Malczewski. So good evening, and I'm Lori Hayes Gisetto. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity for me to present this check for $970.41. I know it's very precise, on behalf of my son Alex and the Donald E. Grant Foundation, which is managed through the Savings Bank in Wakefield, Mass. The funding is for the purchase of financial literacy materials for the high school. It's for business classes, clubs, any students who might be interested in finance. And I will say that this is a bit of a turnaround for my son, who was in the pathway for, or the innovative pathway for engineering. And now he's pursuing business in college. So he really needed to have some resources to rely on. And looking around at the school, he found that there weren't that many. So he went looking for opportunities here. The award has allowed Alex to achieve a few important goals. One is to provide a variety of financial literacy materials to interested students at the high school, including himself. And of course, it's at a point when financial independence is fast approaching for all of them. They're all turning 18 at this point, right? Second, he's gained valuable experience in grant research and grant writing, which is kind of different for a senior in high school. He's worked closely with RMHS staff and bank executives through this process, and that's really been a worthwhile experience for him. He has demonstrated to college admissions officers his seriousness about pursuing finance, which he doesn't have as much experience as you can tell, you would imagine, in his transcripts. So he has to prove that to them, and this is one way he can put a check mark on that column and draw attention to him as a serious finance student. And finally, this award allows the school to enter into their expanded business curriculum that's expected for 2026-2027 with a more solid foundation and financial literacy resources in hand. Alex wanted me to make sure that his co-conspirators from the high school were adequately thanked, and that would be Mr. DeMori, his economics teacher, Ms. Moylan, the high school librarian, Mr. Kripashayer, who's head of the business department, all for helping him identify the books, the magazines, the newspapers that will provide students access to more current materials to better understand real-world economics in an ever-changing financial environment, which I'm sure you'll all agree is true. Thank you, Dr. Malczewski, Principal Callanan, and the school committee members for the opportunity to speak on Alex's behalf today. And here's the check.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We get the check. Don't want to leave the check there. Right? It's not here.
Tom's going to go deposit it now.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion on the consent agenda? Okay, we'll go to the vote. We'll do a roll call. Carla?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And Sean, yes. Good one. All right, so with that, let's go to reports. Next thing, we've got a couple of our students here. We'll start with the two of you.
Yes. Do we need to press the button on this, or is this on?
It should be on. You're good.
Green light's on, so you're good.
All right, perfect. We will start with the upcoming events then. Starting off, winter athletic tryouts are taking place this week. They started December 2nd, so we just want to wish good luck to all of our student athletes trying out. Tonight, down in the Performing Arts Center, the college admissions panel is happening. That's for students and teachers to students and parents, to get kind of a look at the start of looking into colleges, something I'm getting started on now as a junior in the fall of my junior year. On the 8th, there is a band concert at 7 p.m. in the PAC. I know they've been working really hard to make that a fantastic concert. I went last year. It was amazing. I'm expecting it to be the same this year. On January 6th, we have Alumni Day, which is a school day for the senior class. And on January 13th, we have Junior Guidance Parent Night at 6:30 p.m. in the PAC, and that's also going to be for kind of introductions to college admissions, all that important information. Hard to believe we're already getting to this. Future Freshman Night will be on January 20th to welcome rising freshmen, their parents. And another one, it's hard to believe I'm saying. The 20th of January through the 23rd is midterms, so not looking forward to it, but it's just something that everyone has to kind of be aware of. And then lastly, on the 29th, it will be Career Day for the junior class, and it's open to the seniors as well. Moving on to the news. The big event kind of out of the past couple of weeks is the Credit for Life Fair. On November 25th, RMHS held its annual Credit for Life Fair in the Fieldhouse, providing our business students with an engaging hands-on experience in real-world financial literacy. The event was coordinated and facilitated by Ms. Theriault, Ms. Langeal, Mr. Krupascheyer, Mr. McCarthy, Mr. Demore, and Ms. Rosenfeld in partnership with the RMHS Business Department and the Reading Cooperative Bank. This year's fair welcomed over 45 volunteers from the community who generously donated their time to support our students. Their participation brought energy, expertise, and an authentic real-world feel to the simulation. During the event, students navigated a simulation of adult financial life, making decisions about budgeting, banking, housing, transportation, insurance, credit, savings, and more. Using their devices to access the Credit for Life platform, students selected an occupation, built a financial profile, and explored how everyday choices impact their long-term financial stability. Volunteers at each checkpoint guided students, answered questions, and encouraged thoughtful decision-making while keeping the experience fun and engaging. And overall, it was just an extremely successful event, giving students a view into real-life financial situations and prepping them for their futures.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. One more reminder is that on the 18th of December is the Winter Choir Concert. I'll be participating in that. And another reminder is that the Select Choir does caroling every year, so during the next 2 weeks, I'm not sure if we're fully booked yet, but if you want to book us to come to your house and carol for you guys, it's a super fun experience, so that would be great. And then the fall athletic seasons closed out successfully, and the fall musical was a huge hit. Congratulations to all those that had successful seasons and played a role in the musical. Additionally, the Dickens Holiday Marketplace and Craft Fair is going to happen on December 13th. It's a fantastic community event, which takes place at the high school and is open to all. It offers over 50 vendors, entertainment, refreshments, and fun for all ages. Every cent raised will go directly to supporting the RMHS Drama Club and the great work that our students do. Choir will also be caroling there, so if you want to come see us, please do come. Additionally, the senior class is in the throes of college applications and also interviewing for upcoming senior internships that take place during Q4, so we're all very stressed. And then the Reading Coalition for Prevention and Support continues to provide amazing support to RMHS in many ways. Most recently, they held a Leadership Cafe as a follow-up action step to student listening sessions last school year. Club leaders and team captains were invited to attend the Leadership Cafe and had an opportunity to hear about the mini grants available to them through a simple application. Over 10 groups applied for grants of up to $500 for community and school-based projects. These grants are currently being reviewed by the Coalition and Principal Callanan, and awardees will soon be notified if they will receive funding for their proposed community impact project. I also attended this fair. I think it was pretty useful. I met a lot of other clubs that I could possibly work with in the future, and it was just really fun. And this is one way that RMHS is elevating student voice through action projects in the 2025 to 2026 school year.
That is all.
Great.
Thank you both. Any questions or?
Don't forget to sleep
Try,
Sleep's important.
occasionally.
Yeah,
occasionally,
Yeah.
like every other night.
as much as you can.
All right, well, you both know the drill. You're welcome to stay, but we certainly won't be offended if you go pay attention to the million things you just detailed for us.
Stay for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Dr. Lopezzi.
Great. Two quick updates. One, as we closed out November, we'd just like to thank our CPAC. We know November was CPAC Awareness Month. Just wearing the teal, which is the color of the ribbons that Maria Morgan put together for all of our staff. The ribbons representing CPAC Awareness Month in our community. So I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank CPAC for all they do in our community, their leadership, their advocacy, their support, and I think most importantly, their impact. We are incredibly lucky to have a CPAC that partners so close with us and supports not only our students with disabilities, but also all students across the district and all families. They are an awesome organization who is doing really impactful work. So just a thank you to CPAC and their tireless work in our community. Secondly, just like to preview a press release that will be shared out in the next couple of days from both Endicott College and Empowered Education. The headline, the press release is RMHS students to earn 3 college credits and $100 incentive through new personal finance programs. This aligns to a couple things that you heard here. Just like to flag a couple things for the community. So we are partnering with Endicott College, Empowered Education, and also the Reading Cooperative Bank to launch or pilot a 14-week financial literacy, it's called the Financial Freedom Launchpad, which is a balance of both content and real-world mass application of key financial concepts. Seniors will have the opportunity to take this on during flex blocks starting this winter through the spring. I think the coolest thing about this not only is I think the content is really well done through Empowered Ed. Students will get 3 college credits through Endicott and then $100 to be able to apply their learning and test some things out, which is awesome. If this works out well, this is hopefully something that we can build out in the program of studies in a few creative ways in the future. And I think as you've heard from a few folks here too, this is something that I think is definitely an area of interest for many of our students and families. Also, just to underscore 2, I think, themes that come out of this for me, one being the high school's continued work in expanding real-world learning opportunities for our students and what it means to truly prepare our students for the world after graduation. So this is another example, I think, of the really innovative work our high school is doing. 2, I think it's really interesting that almost all of that work happens through partnership. So I just named 3 community partners who are working with us on this. It's hard to name an instructional or school improvement initiative happening here at the high school that does not involve one of our awesome community partners. So a huge shout out and thanks to our community partners, but also a thanks to the leadership at RMHS who are constantly seeking out people in the community to come get involved at RMHS and support our programming. Awesome. That's it on mine.
That's it.
Go to liaison reports. Sarah.
Just a quick update, the select board met on Tuesday of this week to review the RCTV contract extension. They will be meeting again on Tuesday, the 9th, to vote on it. So stay tuned.
Laura.
No report.
Aaron.
No report.
Tom.
Dr. M covered the CPAC update. Sarah covered the select board update. Just a quick note on policy stuff. I went through a series of personnel-related policies and one other one and sent that off to the administration for their feedback, which we should be getting here in the next couple weeks, most likely. So we'll, sometime early next spring or late winter, technically, we'll have a few more policies to review in the policy subcommittee and then bring forward to the full body.
Carl, I think you've had probably about 43 killer meetings since our last meeting, so.
I think you're right. We had a KSBC meeting on November 12th. Our next one is December 15th. The great news is that we did a 60% design estimate where we get a designer, we get an estimator from the OPM and an estimator from the designer, and they coalesce their estimates. And we are $9 million lower than our previous estimate. Why, you ask? A few reasons. Our designers, I feel like our designers are so good. Their design is always so complete. Every time we go to the MSBA with something, they always tell us that our design is always more than what they expected. So the unsurety of that part of the estimate really works into this whole thing. We have kept true to our scope and not let the scope creep, which is a huge part of it. I think they're always tired of us asking, like, how much does that cost? Well, how much, what's the comparison between these two costs? So that's the good news. I don't have any bad news. We recently sent out 3 requests for services for different things. One is for code review, one is for materials testing during construction, and one is for a tax consultant. So we have potential savings from grant funding from the Inflation Reduction Act. We don't know what is going to happen with that, but we are hiring a tax consultant, or that's what we have an RFQ out for now, a tax consultant, to see if, we want to make sure we take advantage of every grant opportunity, and part of that is to get changes into the design now, so we can roll it out later on and go for those grant opportunities at the end of the project. And just to kind of give people an idea of some of the meetings that we've had, a lot of meetings on RISE, the design of the classroom spaces and the big room, camera locations, off-site improvements, nurse's office design. We've done a lot of geotechnical testing to see what our soils look like, to see what kind of issues we may have with that. We had just made a decision, we were going to do an early package of taking soils from the site, and we have decided not to do that early package. We will do an early package for some equipment that, electrical equipment, switchgear equipment that has a long lead time. And we've been having a lot of meetings about furniture, so, which sounds easy and it's not. So, it's been good. We're getting a lot done.
Can you define early package, what that means?
So we are going, this will go out, the design will be complete, and it will go out for contractors to bid it at the end of May. If we, like for an early package for switchgear, we are afraid that the lead time to get that equipment may take too long, so we're going to order it for the contractor, so they'll have it when they need it.
Gotcha.
So we're not going to sit around and wait for it. We thought that if we could clear some of the, like to do earthwork, if we could clear a certain, we would bring it down to a certain footing level. If we could clear that space, the contractor had more options of coming in and starting drilling right away, or it would have given them more options. Because of some of the issues with the soil, we don't feel like we're going to be, we want to make sure, we're not sure that we would actually have a benefit to the contractor.
Understood.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for explaining.
you're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. All right, and I've got no incremental take on what's already hit on. So let's go to new business. So we'll start with, we've got a very exciting project that just went underway with the new fitness center and training room updates. Dr. Milashevsky, I can kick it to you to tee this up. Let me take Nick off the mute as well.
Great.
And I've got the materials whenever we're ready to share.
Great. Really excited to talk about the project. But first, I want to recognize that we have a few members of our high school team here tonight to represent or show their enthusiasm for the project. Our athletic director, Tom Zaya, John Fiore from our history department, also our boys football coach, Michelle Hopkinson, who is also a girls volleyball coach, but also a health and wellness teacher, Craig Murphy, special education teacher and wrestling coach, and also Will Merkel here representing our student athletes as well. So thank you for coming tonight. I know they are some of the students and staff who are extremely excited about this project. I'll speak a high-level overview of the project and where we are, then I'm going to turn over to Nick Sweat, who will come off the blank screen and kind of dive through some of the renderings. So as we shared a few weeks ago at a school committee meeting, we are incredibly lucky to be the beneficiaries of a over $500,000 donation from Claudia Mixon-Fanaras, who was committed to revamping, revitalizing, totally overhauling our fitness center and also our athletic training room. From our initial conversations with Claudia, she has made it very clear she wants this to be the best of the best in the region, and is committed to doing whatever it takes to have this be something that is the pride of our community for a long time to come. So we think this is nothing short of a transformational gift from Claudia. So we've talked a lot about it. Tonight you actually get to see what that looks like, kind of in broad strokes. The project did kick off a couple of weeks ago with taking out all the old equipment, putting in some new fans, starting the HVAC work, painting's complete. Now we're pretty soon going to be moving on to flooring, installing all the new equipment, decals, branding, amidst a bunch of other things, just to be complete by the first week in January. So all that to said, Nick Sweat is with us tonight. Nick Sweat's from Matrix Fitness, has been along with us all the way through, has done an incredible job walking us through. He's going to show us the exciting parts, some pictures, maybe some videos, and then answer any questions that people have about what to expect with the project. Nick wanted to be here tonight, but it's his son's 5th birthday party, so he's joining us remotely. Go ahead, Nick.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for taking the time. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. I couldn't be more excited about this opportunity. Just to kind of give you a quick background. So I cover Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont for Matrix Fitness. And I've done all projects from colleges and high schools across the region. And how I was approached, Claudia came to me probably this past summer and said, I really want to talk to you about this exciting opportunity where we can do something like extraordinary. So I met with her. She shared with me the project that she wanted to bring to Reading Memorial High School. And right off the bat, she introduced me to Tom and Tom. And I said, Dr. Tom in my world. But I feel like I've been a part of the Reading Memorial community throughout this project so far. It's been amazing. So I'm excited to share with you guys kind of our lay of the land and what we started. Again, we started this right after Thanksgiving. We're hoping that we'll open the new facility in January for all of you to see. So if you don't mind going right to the slide, I can walk us through it. So here you see on the screen kind of how did we get here? Let's start there. So after meeting with Claudia, meeting with Tom and Tom, we actually were on site at your high school on site and talked to different parts of the community. So we wanted to make sure that everybody's voice was heard throughout this because we wanted to make this, as Dr. Tom said, extraordinary and better than the rest. So what we did first, I'll start from left to right. So if you're walking in the left side door in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll walk right in. You'll have turf that goes right down the middle of the turf. It'll be pictured as green, but it will be red with lines that will be in it throughout from left to right. This space will be used not only for split pushing, but also for just versatility. So that may be whether it's stretching, whether a student wants to be able to roll out on a roller, warm up prior to a workout, they'll have this ability to do that on this turf. As far as I'll start on the bottom half of the screen, so you'll have storage for accessories right there so that you can grab those and go throughout the facility, whether you're a student athlete or just a general student that's going in there to get a workout. In this particular facility, we made sure that we have the top of the line equipment. This equipment that you see on the bottom of the screen, we have 2 climb mills, we have 4 treadmills, and within those 4 treadmills, we have 1 slided belt treadmill, which what that means is a high performance. I've heard that your cross-country team is superb, so we made sure we check the box on that. We have 2 ellipticals, and then we have 2 interactive bikes, similar to like a Peloton style with a touchscreen. The nice thing about all this cardio is that we'll be able to use the R of your logo on all the screens to display it as the welcome page. So again, the branding is most important, that we want to make sure that we make that wow factor when we're walking into the room. As far as the right side where you see the equipment with the red upholstery, this area we really try to take the feedback that we received from the PE team. Here we did single body workouts, basically checking all the boxes of the push and pull movements. So we'll have chest, shoulder, pec fly, and then we have a lat pull down, a seated row, and then lower body. We'll have a leg extension, a leg curl, a leg press, and then a functional trainer up in the northeast corner. And then free weights as well. So really here, when we were speaking with the PE team, we wanted to make sure that we could accommodate an entire PE course when we have enough students in that area, so that way they can get introduced if they're not familiar with using this type of equipment at the right time. Another thing that I'll highlight, that on each piece of equipment that you'll have a rep counter and a timer. So what that means is that it allows the user to be able to basically have accountability to be able to track their workouts while they're working out. Again, this is what we put at Harvard University, this is what we put at MIT, Northeastern, so this is the top of the line that you could have in your facility. As we go over to the racks, where we have our more freeway area for the more aggressive users that we're gonna have for student athletes. We have our MX racks. This is something that we put in at Harvard University. We put it at Gordon. We're gonna be putting it at Endicott, as well. I know Dr. Tom mentioned that. This is our top of the line equipment that no other manufacturer has. So it's 4x4 tubing. I know that probably doesn't mean much to you, but it's the highest gauge steel that you can have in a weight room. So this is something that I'm excited for. We're able to, we went to the football team, our football coach discussed this particular project, and we wanted to make sure that we checked all the boxes of what he would need or what his team would need when they're in that room. But most importantly, throughout the entire athletic department. So we'll have sound dampening platforms so that you won't be hearing that sound below. You'll see a wood floor, but it will be a full new floor with that turf, but it'll also be a rolled rubber with a white and red flag. But to kind of back off the project, we can go to the next slide. Just a different angle, just so you can see. You can go to the next one as well, please. Go ahead to the next one. So just different angles. So also the other important component, I was down at the facility today to walk through the facility to talk about the graphics that we're going to put on the walls. Over the cardio, you're going to see Reading Memorial High School with the R on the top above the cardio on the wall. On the right side wall that you see here, you're going to have 0, 1, 8, 6, 7, 3 separate times over the mirrors at higher elevation. On the vent that runs through the room, if you're familiar, we're going to put RMHS to make a huge wow factor. And as well as the decals will be painting the walls as a part of the project. So it's super exciting to have that opportunity. You can go to the next slide. And this is the long way. We can go to the 3D video if you'd like. But while the video is playing, just to kind of give you guys a background on Claudia, I think the biggest thing that I can echo across the board is that she really wanted to make an impact in the community. She's not one to she doesn't want, I think the biggest thing she just really wants to make sure she makes an impact on the community that gives you the best experience that she possibly could. So she was super excited about this opportunity. She entrusted me, Tom, and Dr. Tom to basically give our input on what we needed for this facility. The other thing too as well, we'll be updating the ATH room downstairs. So you'll see all brand new equipment as far as for athletes when they're checking in before games, post game, and for recovery for coming off injury. So just to give you a pan view so you can see all this, so all of the equipment here will be branded with your colors. You'll see the R on the platforms as well. And the other important component that I would bring up that Claudia wanted to really make an impact was how do we compare to the rest of the schools in the area? As everyone in the room may know, you've seen Malden Catholic get a new school, you've seen Boston College High School get a new school. What we wanted to do here was to continue to elevate and raise the bar above those. So what you see here in this room will be a top tier facility that you're going to be comparing yourself to those schools, if not higher. Again, all due respect to those schools, but I think this will be an incredible install. I'm excited for it. We'll be looking to put in the floor in the next couple weeks, equipment shortly, right around the holiday, and then we'll be adding those graphics and other parts of the room into the early January before everyone returns from winter break. So super pumped to have this opportunity, and I appreciate the time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see it.
So what's next? You'll be hearing more sort of over the next couple of school committee meetings, but we will have a ribbon cutting ceremony with Claudia present sometime in January too. So we're working with her on some of those details, so more on that to come as well.
Awesome. Well, we can't, I don't know if she's watching at home, but we can't thank Claudia enough, and looking forward to thanking her in person at the ribbon cutting, and Nick, thank you for all the work as well. I think everybody's really excited about the impact this room's gonna have for us, so appreciate it. All right. So with that, we will go to the next item on our agenda, which is the rise tuition adjustment review discussion and vote. Dr. Mosetti, do you want to see this one up? I can share it on the materials that will help us.
Nope, perfect. Just saying goodbye to a few people here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You'll see in your packet, some information around rise tuition, proposed rise tuition rates for the 26-27 school year. Yeah, 26-27, it's crazy. 26, I can't even say those numbers.
6-7,
I
just say
said
6-7.
I said
No, do not say
26,
6-7.
No, I said 26.
26, 27.
So a couple things about what's in your packet, just to orient you. First, you'll see what is our recommendation for the rise tuition rates. This is the first sort of fee that we will look at as part of the kind of kickoff of the budget process. You'll see that over in our next school committee meeting, we'll be looking at some of our other fee-based programs and rates, from rentals to athletics and things like that. So around rise, I think we tried to do three things as we looked at the rental rates. One, we know that there are rising costs within the programs, and we want to be able to continue and build on the level of service that's provided to our students now. RISE is doing an incredible job meeting the needs of our students, and we want to be able to continue to do that, and it's important that we can keep up with sort of the cost of running the program. Two, we pride ourselves on having a competitive cost, not only with some of our local private preschools, but I think more importantly with a lot of the local public preschools. So you'll see in your packet just comparisons to some of our FinCom comparable communities, showing that sort of this puts us or keeps us sort of in the middle of that range, which is important to us as well. And then the last thing, the third thing for us that was on our radar was based on feedback from last year and the year before around rise tuition rates, especially from the school committee, we had some variation among sort of the price per hour of our different programs. And we heard from committee members trying to have some more consistency in what those rates look like. So you'll see that the recommended rates also this time have $8.35 sort of across the board for all of our programs. So with all of that, we feel that this is sort of positions us to kind of meet all of those three criteria, and would love just to open up to any questions or feedback before the vote.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
So, Dr. M, you mentioned being in the middle of the pack, which we will be clearly for the 5 full-day program, but we won't be for the other 2. We'll be near the top and/or the top. It's a relatively small population in the case of the 3-day.
Yep.
So did you consider a smaller increase? And can you talk a little bit more about what's driving the overall $17,000 increase?
Yep. Couple things on that. We have, first, it is difficult to know exactly where we'll stand in 26-27 comparisons, given that we are looking at sort of FY26 rates here. I will say that in conversations with several of our local communities, they are also looking at tuition increase to be able to keep up with just the rise in the cost of programming. And as you shared, the sample size for those programs is a lot smaller. So I feel that we will be competitive, and I think the other thing that we've looked at is even comparing to some of the local private schools, and I think we're significantly below where we would be.
I was gonna know that
With,
next, yeah.
with that said, your comment around sort of the $16,000-$17,000 increase, we know that programming, and we say programming, whether that is, staffing, whether that is, curriculum, whether that is materials, the cost of everything in the program is rising. We feel like this increase will allow us to absorb what are some of those increases without going sort of too far across the board for our families. We could keep the cost lower in some of those other programs, but at the same time, we feel like having that consistency with all of the other sort of the 5-day program makes sense. So we feel it's sort of more important to have that consistency, especially knowing sort of or having the unknown of what the tuitions will be for some of those other communities on the smaller sample size.
Tom, I'll just share, one reason that I'm sort of comfortable with this approach is, I think using the full day programs for which there's the most number of comparables, to sort of define what your baseline is for that hourly cost is kind of a logical thing to do. And, when you look at it that way, as you noted, it is sort of kind of in the middle of the pack at $8.35 an hour mark. And I don't know about others, but I'm certainly one who raised my hand and said it never really made any sense to me why some of the other programs were, 15% cheaper on a per hour basis, than the full day program. If anything, it should be the other way around, in my mind. So I think using that as your benchmark for the hourly cost, and applying it to all the programs we run, makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, can you have any off the top of your head, and your answer may be no, but comparable to the private preschools around? Like if we were to talk about Little Treasures or Knowledge Beginnings up in North Reading or anything else like that, do you have anything off the top of your head comparable?
We have all the data, and we did look it up, we just didn't publish all that data, we didn't want to.
Significantly more than ours is,
It
which I
is.
would expect it to
Yes.
be, yeah.
It is.
Significantly
Yes.
more.
I mean, it's been a couple years, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember, it's been a lot more than a couple of years, but for me, I mean, it's been a couple of years for you maybe, but.
Yeah.
But I remember Knowledge Beginnings being pretty high, so, okay, this is still very reasonable in terms of the
Correct.
grand scheme of things. Okay.
Okay, any further discussion on this one? All right, Carla, can we take a motion? I guess I did that backwards, but can we take a motion?
Sure, I didn't actually even write this one down. And it's right there. Move to approve tuition adjustments presented.
Second.
And I will add 2026, 2027.
Second, I did.
Seconded by Laura, thank you. All right, any further discussion? Okay, we'll go to the vote. Sarah?
Yes. Jeremy, yes.
You say yes.
Yes.
Okay, Carla?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
And Sean, yes. Okay, so we'll move to our next agenda item, which is the 26-27 school year calendar. I will go ahead and share for this. Dr. Malczewski, any
Great.
commentary you want to offer while I pull this up?
Very quickly, just one follow-up on the RISE. So within the week, information will be shared out with families about RISE, registration, lottery information. So we were waiting for this sort of piece before we can move forward, but now begins the process. So in the packet, you'll find a draft of the 2026-2027 calendar. Just a couple of quick comments to make on this. One, we essentially just moved all key dates forward with some very minor changes. So this is very much mirrors what you saw in our calendar this year for the most part. Two, you'll see dates are sort of pushed back with a late start date and a late end date because of the late date of Labor Day. And then also share that we have started the process of engaging our union on the calendar, opening things up for their feedback. So tonight, we're hopeful to get feedback from the committee, whether that's things that you'd like us to shift, things you'd like us to consider. We'll take all of that, pair that with what we hear from the union, and then come back with some updated draft based off those recommendations. So love to hear any feedback, questions, concerns.
I'll open it up to anybody there. I did a couple comments, but anyone wants to jump in?
I saw a few hands. I don't know if Aaron was first.
So first of all, visually, this is like the cleanest I've seen it, and you guys have been, I feel like, making updates annually, so I just appreciate how comprehensive it is, just to sort of look at it and make sense of it. I said this to you earlier, but I'm glad to see the 4-day weekend in October again. I just think that's a nice thing for families, and to see some full weeks, or at least full week in November. My question is, are we not worried about Election Day in November?
We're not super worried about it this year. I feel like
Okay.
this past year, this fall, things went pretty well, and I feel like that was, I don't expect anything. Tom, you have some?
Well, this year was like,
This year, we had no real election. It's gonna be a midterm.
it's gonna be midterm, yeah. It's
Election.
gonna be a bigger election, but
2026.
not presidential, but
Senate, we'll have the Senate race, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Senate race, yeah.
I mean, I'm not necessarily worried. I'm more asking
Yeah,
whether
no,
that entered into the conversation.
Yes, it did. We talked about it, and I think we felt that we would be able to, sort of handle it, given how we can block off for the high school, but let us just think through that again and have a longer conversation we talked to the town about it too, and they thought we'd be able to handle it too, but let me double check on that one too. I think that's a good point. Thank you.
can I just piggyback on that? As long as the parking situation is,
Yeah.
right, is kind of squared away early in the morning, so the kids don't park
Yep.
where the voters would.
Yep. Thank you.
That would be great.
Yep. We can I'm trying to think of what we had a high-level conversation about and thought we'd be able to handle, but I don't think we went back and looked at maybe some of the turnout data from maybe what we would anticipate maybe, if there are any years looking back, maybe would that be 4 years ago? Would probably be our closest comparison.
Yeah.
And maybe look at some of that data too and just map out a plan. So we'll dive a little bit deeper into that.
Can I just adding on to that point, I think now that the RISE classrooms are all here, I think it's added general chaos in the
Yeah.
mornings at drop-off time, so thinking about taking that into consideration too for the before work
Yep,
kind of drop-off and with that traffic flow, because it's,
good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, turnout in 2022 was 63%. So that's a high turnout.
High turnout.
Yeah, it's a significant number.
Yep.
And it could be significant as well, considering where things are going right now. Maybe I'm missing it, or maybe I'm misunderstanding how Juneteenth would be celebrated. As a federal holiday, I would expect it to carry over to the 21st.
It's the 18th.
Is it the 18th?
it's marked on here as the
It's marked
18th.
as the 18th.
Is that true?
All federal holidays, if they're Saturday, they're observed on
It's the day
Friday, if
before.
they're Sunday, they're observed on Monday.
Okay,
The kind of July 4th works that way.
okay. That answers the question, but is it?
Bumps us to that lovely Monday.
Yep, it does.
Everybody's favorite.
This year too.
Extra snow.
Okay.
Any other,
We're not calling out the holidays as, oh, there it is, it's on the right-hand side, no school, Juneteenth observed, okay. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Did you have more, Tom?
No, go ahead.
Can I jump in, Sean? I just had a couple nitpicky things about, there are a lot of abbreviations, which I understand why, because it's very busy, but I think at least calling them out somewhere, so there's a lot of MS, HS, PK kind of stuff, which I'm thinking about our, MLL families particularly, just at least explaining what that means someplace. And then on the back page, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, we use the double asterisk to mean different things. It is called out, but it just saying, I don't know if we want to consider using a different symbol there. There is a spelling mistake in Yom Kippur. There's 2 I's. And then I think, you probably don't know the answer to this, but when I was looking at it, I wondered if we know the number of families celebrating Eid, and if we need to then think about a policy update to make sure we are maybe getting that double asterisk after, if appropriate, for religious observance and accommodations. I believe only the ones highlighted there, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Passover, and Good Friday, are called out in our policy. So maybe something to look into.
That's a good point.
That's it for me.
Good catch.
Okay. Not a hill I'm gonna die on necessarily, but I think a year like this one is one where I'm sort of particularly disinclined to like our approach of having, kind of a day and a half in the first week of school. In a year like this one where Labor Day is so late, you could easily convince me that a school year starting on August 31st would be a better option, and we'd have more of a full week, that first week. Again, not a hill I'm gonna die on, but when you look at the calendar, when you look at what it means, we're potentially ending as late as June 28th, which would be, almost 2 weeks later than we're ending, I think. We've ended in recent years. There are a lot of summer camps that begin earlier than that, so that might be problematic for some families. I also think, and again, we don't know what will happen on snow days, but the idea of having the 21st be the last day of school, and it's an 11 o'clock day, I think, right, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Having that be the last day of school, coming off a 3-day weekend is, I'm not sure that makes a ton of sense. So, you could easily convince me that it makes more sense for us to start on August 31st, which is closer to where we started in recent years, and have something like a full week that first week. The 31st could be a half day, as Wednesday the 2nd would be otherwise, but, anyway, that's my feedback. Not a hill I'm gonna die on, but the placement of Labor Day this year makes it particularly stand out in my mind. What others think?
I would push back on that, because if students start the 31st, then teachers have to start the 27th, so I think for teachers, that's gonna feel, I would imagine there could be pushback from teachers about coming back that far before Labor Day. I also feel like we've had very few snow days the past few years, so like even if we have one and it pushes us to a Tuesday, that still feels, I know the 28th looks really late, but I just feel like the likelihood of us actually going to the 28th is really slim.
So
Just my initial reaction.
my reaction is actually the opposite, and I don't think Sean went far enough now that he raised it, right? I think we're used to starting the last Wednesday of August. It just so happens that usually that becomes, a Monday that leads to a Labor Day, usually. So theoretically, if you push this back a full week, you get back to a much more regular schedule of what we would have at the end of the year. You get well past or well free of anything from a Juneteenth and a rollover into a, 3-day weekend that leads to 1 or 2 days afterwards or anything else like that. And it is, while yes, you then have a week and a half before you have a holiday instead of just a half week before you have a holiday. It's much more traditional to start that last Wednesday of August. And I don't think you'd face as many concerns from the union. I could be wrong. They can certainly speak up and have a different opinion. But then getting out earlier in June is the benefit they get as well. So I like where Sean was going, and I'd go 3 more days earlier than that, which then brings the teachers in on the 24th.
Yeah, Aaron, we started on the 27th this year, and the teachers started on the 25th.
I know, it's mentally where Labor Day is, though, I guess, because plenty of families wish we started after Labor Day, and I'm sure there are some teachers who do too, so.
They do
I
until it
think-
comes to the end of June.
I know, but even September's been brutally hot the past few, like the first few weeks of school have,
Yeah,
I'm not compelled to say get them in the building earlier.
I
in that
think the heat is
but-
definitely a consideration. I do think, though, like, if you think to your point, Sean, about camps starting, camps end probably the 21st of August. And so if we go too late, that parents are looking for 2 weeks of coverage practically, which I think is another consideration, too.
That may change again next year, because of the same reason we're fighting right now, but,
Well, I just looked ahead at our camp schedule.
Oh, did you?
No, in
So
fact,
in that particular
the
camp,
eighth
it
week
does.
is, and that's typically what all the camps are.
I mean, this has been our pattern. There are years where Labor Day is late, and we've always still started the Wednesday before Labor Day, even when Labor Day was well into September. So historically, this is consistent, but
We'll definitely get the union's perspective on that too. We've been obviously discussing this with them, so we'll obviously, a topic we have discussed, and we'll share the feedback that's been presented tonight and talk through it more with them as well.
It would have had to been the 2020 or 2019 school year when we faced this last, right?
You get thrown off a day by the leap year, so you
It's,
have to figure out what direction that pushes you in. It would be 1 year on either side of that.
yeah.
And actually, potentially two leap years. We had two leap years during that time frame. So anyway, all right. So yeah, Dr. Montesky, I think we'll look forward to hearing what the union's feedback is. I think you're hearing at least some receptivity to something that starts a little bit earlier. Maybe not a consensus there. I don't know. Carla, Laura, Sarah, any other takes on sort of the general start date?
I don't have strong feelings about it either way. I could be convinced to go a little bit earlier. I could be convinced to keep it like this. I would defer to what the teachers have to say largely.
Every person I listen to, I can agree with, so I don't have, like, I'm like, yep, that sounds logical. I think I would, me personally, I think I would start earlier in August, just because I feel like getting out is better, but I probably would run it by the teachers and see what they feel. But the camp piece of it is a consideration too, right? People don't
On
want
both
to look for
sides.
2 weeks
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
coverage for camp. That's tough.
What are folks' thoughts on that first week being the day and a half that we have now versus, versus starting with more of a full week?
We don't have a half day now, we have 2 full days.
Do we?
Yep.
At all levels? Isn't it half day elementary for Wednesday?
Nope. I don't
No,
think so.
okay. I was probably early to pick up my kids then.
I was like, it was leap year, Sean.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, Wednesday and Thursday are full days,
Who can keep track?
but then it's a 4-day, but then they go into, a 4-day weekend.
All right. All right, Dr. Mosesky, you, I'm sure that was crystal clear, but you
I do. Yep, we'll explore with the union.
All right, what is next? Oh, policies.
Before-
So Tom, I'll tee you to kick these off, and I think you're online now, student, if you want to share, you should be able to do so.
Yeah, just before we do it, I'd suggest we make a motion to take it out of order from what it is in the agenda, just so we can approve IKFE before we approve something that references IKFE. Just a minor logistical thing.
So moved, we'll take D1 out of order. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Carla. Sarah?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
And Sean, yes. Okay, we'll start with D1 now.
Okay, so we've reviewed this is the second reading of it. I don't think anybody wants to start reading it, but I will, so somebody please waive it. File IKFE,
To waive the reading.
Is there a second?
Second?
Sarah?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Tom?
yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
And Sean, yes. All right, go ahead, Tom.
So it hasn't changed, I think, since we last spoke, so I don't even think we changed it as a group last time we were together. I did save it as a post change, so that's what you're looking at. But this is the review that, Ms. Callahan, Dr. Hardy, Dr. Milczewski, Aaron and myself went through. We outlined all the reasons for it last time. If anybody has any new questions or any other concerns, now's the time. So I have it up on the screen, and we can go through it as necessary as well.
I don't have any concerns. We probably should just acknowledge that there's a lot of noise around this, at the state level at this point. And so, but Dr. Milczewski, I think we have a deadline sometime this month, if I'm not mistaken, to submit our this month?
End of this month, yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of have to work with what we know today and may have to react and update these to be consistent with any frameworks or guidelines or what have you that are promulgated at the state level. But for now, I think these should fit the bill in terms of what we know.
Correct, and thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, there's a lot of discussion about the competency side of this and testing at the end of classes and things like that that are up for debate right now. Anybody else have any feedback on anything else? Okay, Sean, I think we're ready for a motion.
Move.
Okay, Carla,
Yep.
you have a motion on D1?
I move to adopt policy IKFE, competency determination.
Second?
Is there a second? And we'll go to the vote. Sarah?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes?
Aaron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
And Sean, yes. All right, we can move to E4 IKF. Tom, whenever you're ready.
Will do. Let me just make the save first. Okay, so IKF has a very minor change to it to account for the fact that we have changed the competency related stuff to be its own policy. So
You need to start a reading, technically.
technically, yes, file IKF, graduation requirements.
Move to
Wave.
waive the reading.
Second.
Who can get to the second fastest?
Carla,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
and Sean, yes. All right, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, so we used to have the section here on the right-hand side that's now marked as deleted. Students at RMHS will meet competency, blah, 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 blah. We now just say satisfactory completion of the requirements of the competency determination as outlined in policy IKFE shall be a condition for high school graduation. And we have added as well the reference or the cross-reference for IKFE. I would add Sean's note from the previous one may apply to this one as well.
Any discussion on this one? This one we can review and adopt in one reading. It's an existing policy, it's modification of an existing policy, so that's consistent with our, I forget what it's called, policy on policy adoption or something like that.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So is there a motion on this one?
Can I ask a question, since Ms. Callahan is here? So I see we have consideration for transfer students, consideration for out-of-district placed students. What about, how do you handle students who attend a year of high school somewhere else? So they go abroad for a year, or their family's on sabbatical for a year, or something like that?
Jess, do you want to come up here and just so they can pick you up?
Consider transfer students.
Good evening, everyone. That would be considered a transferred student as well. So you just take their transcript from wherever they were attending and then apply it to our standards and our graduation requirements.
Okay. So they basically have to sort of withdraw from RMHS for a year, and,
If they were going to a semester abroad, we don't have a lot of kids that do that. Usually
Okay.
they do transfer if they're moving to a different country. Even if they think it's only for a half a year or something, they will withdraw. They have to enroll in their new school, then they withdraw and they come back. We don't have any formalized exchange programs
Okay.
right now.
thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
Want a motion? Move to adopt amended policy IKF graduation requirements.
Second.
Second, Sarah,
Yes.
Carla,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
and Sean, yes. So I believe that brings us to the end of our agenda, so if there's
Motion.
nothing else. I'll
Motion.
take a final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Tom, Sarah,
Yes.
Carla,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
and Laura,
Yes.
and Sean, yes. We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Bye.